For today's vlog, I want to talk about something very concerning. Something that has pervaded our society, that we see in all parts of life already. It's becoming more and more widely accepted. And the question is, are we even aware of the dangers of this? Are we even aware of the effects it has on us, on our thinking, on our relationships? And I'm speaking about video games. And that's the problem. You see so many people playing video games on PCs or on consoles or even on their phones, and they're just playing video games forever.
Is my time up?
Not yet, Philip. But after my vlog, it's my turn. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Philip. Okay, so I actually like playing video games. I play them a lot. I think they started close to when I was born. Now, I'm not old enough to play Atari, okay? So let's be clear, I'm 38. But I did play on the Famicom or the NES. So that was the first ever Super Mario, the first ever Zelda, Battle City, Tetris, Ice Climbers. Then, played the Super Nintendo, borrowing from friends. Never had one. Always wanted one, but I got to play that Mario World where Mario has Yoshi, and that was a very groundbreaking development in platformers. I remember getting the PlayStation 1. Man, that was an amazing time. See, to go back, this is your history lesson na lang for the day. Just treat it like that. Back in the day, Sony was known for Walkmans, music players, and then Discmans. So for Sony to produce a gaming console, nobody knew what it was. Like, nobody knew what to make of it. I remember my dad got it for us for Christmas. And we opened it, and my brothers and I were so confused. We were like, ano to? Parang ganon. PlayStation, I guess. But none of the familiar franchises we knew. No Street Fighter, no Mario. It's all these Sony things. Ridge Racer, Air Combat, Ace Combat. And after Christmas holidays, we went back to school and, your classmates asked, anong nakuha mo nung Pasko? And we were like, meron kaming PlayStation. Tapos pinagtawanan kami. Pinagtawanan kami ng mga classmates ko na parang, ano ba yan? PlayStation? Ano yun? Sony? May gaming na? Until 6 months later. Then they were like, wait, kayo may PlayStation, diba? Tapos kami parang, oo. Then we realized that it was a groundbreaking thing. That's when you had so many advances in gaming. Things like Metal Gear Solid, an iconic game on its own. The Crash Bandicoot series. Tekken was introduced there. Twisted Metal. From then on, started playing games on the PC. So Command & Conquer, Red Alert, Counter-Strike in college. Almost failed a number of courses in college because of Counter-Strike. My friends and I na-addict sa Counter-Strike, we had different logic na parang magpapasok ba tayo o magka-Counter-Strike. Alam mo, late na tayo, bastos kay ma'am, kung pumasok tayo ng late, mas maganda mag-cut na lang tayo. Kakain ba tayo o magka-Counter-Strike? Magkano lang ba yung 1 hour? 30 pesos. Magkano ba kumain? 50 at least. So, mag-Counter-Strike na lang tayo, mas mura. Yan, so mali yun, huwag mong gagawin yun. I never got into Dota. Sorry, and if you wanna give a comment and help me get into it, I would be open to it. It's just that parang ang daming kailangang aralin bago ako makasimula. Gusto ko na maglaro at mag-enjoy. I also never got into multiplayer games, and because I kinda wanna withdraw from the world when I'm playing games. I don't want to talk to more people. I also don't like the idea that some 10-year-old somewhere could kick my butt, diba? Na parang, how is that relaxing when I'm playing video games? And yeah, I just love playing so much of these games. What am I talking? What is this vlog about again? Anyway, my point is I like playing video games, and I'm not completely against it, mind you. In fact, there will be studies that you'll see where people say about the benefits of playing video games. They'll talk about how kids can be more active or kids can be more sociable over this. That being said, there are downsides also. On one hand, it can help people socialize. On the other hand, we have seen people who aren't able to socialize because of their addiction to video games. Though the question there, which logic will tell us, is correlation equal to causation, diba? Is the person addicted to video games causing their lack of socialization, or did their lack of socialization encourage them to play more video games? So, chicken and egg maybe for some people. So there's obvious issues with too much, diba? Addictions to video games, escapism, which can lead to delusion, where you're not really engaging with the world, with how it is. So that's a reality. My son, has limits to how much he plays games. We engage him. I talk to him about it. I make sure that we process it analog as well. I don't want to talk about those obvious or heavily covered effects of video gaming on ourselves. I want to talk about the effects on our minds, on the way we process information. This idea first came to me not because of games, but because of TV. I read an article on a comedy website, now mind you, but it's still insightful. Ang labo ng source mo, no? No, but it's a really insightful article. It said how TV and series have affected the way we view the world. And it described things like the CSI Effect. The CSI Effect is because of, crime scene investigation, CSI. Diba? Because of that, it talks about DNA evidence all the time. That in the United States, where there are juries where people who decide on whether or not a person is guilty or innocent are taken from regular people, these regular people have been watching CSI. And because they've been watching CSI, they think that every criminal conviction must be backed by DNA evidence. And the reality is DNA evidence is not that easy to come across. It's not that open and shut. Alright, so what would happen was they would have these obviously guilty criminals. I mean, there's eyewitnesses, there's motive, there's evidence. But because there's no DNA evidence, these people who watched CSI were like, no, there's no DNA evidence. He must be innocent. Hala! Can you imagine? Watching that show changed the way they responded to life. The article also described Friends, the TV series, and it described how that warps our view of money. Because Rachel's a waitress, Monica is a caterer, and she doesn't always have jobs, but they have this huge apartment. A huge 2-bedroom apartment with a kitchen, with a living area, with 2 separate bedrooms in New York. You can't afford that unless you have like a rich dad. Now, I know Rachel has a rich dad, but the show made it clear that she doesn't get that much money or any money from her parents. And not only that, they have the leisure to sit in a coffee shop for hours and hours in a day and talk to one another. Not only that, when one of them goes to London, they all go to London. One of them goes to Atlantic City, they all go to Atlantic City or Hawaii or wherever pa. And the point is, that can affect our minds. To think that a normal, young professional adult life, working an entry-level job like that, like Rachel's at least, will allow me to go on international vacations, afford my own apartment where I can have parties, and sit around and have coffee with my friends. That's just not true. But where did that expectation come from? It came from the media that they had consumed. And that's what I want to talk about here. How are video games, how could they be affecting your mind? My mind. My son's mind. I'm not saying don't play, obviously, but what I am saying is that you need to be aware of what it could be doing, so that you can offset, so that you can cut back if necessary. Like, number one, you can't save or reload in real life. I've done this a lot, and I'm sure you have as well. You're playing your game, you're playing the serious way, the way to accomplish all the objectives, and then you're like, let me save the game now and go on a killing spree. Just kill every person in this village. Just take the bad route or something. The reality is that doesn't happen in real life. And there was that expression years ago, you only live once, diba, YOLO. And the funny thing about the expression is it invited people to do wild behavior, to do things that you could not undo. But if the truth is you only live once, why are you doing that to yourself? Why are you ingesting things, participating in things, risking things if you only live once? And this might be the end of it because you said, let's just try it. Words that you speak cannot be taken back. Some hurts that you will inflict on other people, you can't reload that. They're going to remember. The same way that people have done that to you. Another one, there are no perfect or completionist runs in real life. Video games have a way of making us aspire for perfection. I want to max out my stats. I want to max out not just my personal stats, my equipment stats, my party stats. There's min-maxing where people are computing about how much stronger do I need to be the ultimate strongest, and now nobody can beat me. There's people who play games with speed runs or completionist runs. Philip plays the Lego Ninjago movie game, and of all the games we have in our Steam library, that's the only one with all achievements achieved. He got them all. Before he would play, he would check his achievements and say what's missing and make sure to do that. So I'm actually pretty proud of that, The funny thing is though, life isn't like that. There's no perfect runs. And see, if we have that mindset, what happens is we get disappointed with a less than perfect run. But that's all of life. That's my life, that's your life. It's always going to be less than perfect. And if we're aiming for perfection, what happens is we're afraid of making a mistake. We're afraid of, what if my first job turned out to be wrong and I can't reload this? No, you can't. And let me say this to you, for you younger people, a big mark of growing up, a big mark of adulthood is that you will make more and more decisions that you cannot take back. When I was in grade school, when I was in high school, I do one thing this summer, I'll do another thing next summer. Alam mo, may ganun ka eh. I did one thing first sem, I'll do it differently second sem. Alam mo, I did this in the start of this school year, next school year, I'll do something else. Because there's a repetition to life. The older you get, the less that happens. There's just less guarantees that you'll have this chance again. And I know that might be terrifying. Okay, it scared me when I first learned about it. It's like, what? I can't undo this. This is it. No, you can't undo it. This is it. But it's okay to fail. It's okay to make a mistake. God factors in our mistakes into His plan. And over again, the Bible is full of stories of people who came to that reality. That, man, I messed up, I've done it, and yet God still turned it around. Third difference between video games and real life. There are no cutscenes in real life. You know how games work, right? You have a cutscene and you're not playing and you want to skip it. And I hate when you can't skip it. Please, any video game developer out there, let me skip. Okay? If it's worth watching, I'll watch it. I was playing a board game, role-playing game, right? Like a pen and paper role-playing game with some younger people. And I felt like I was the one more shaped by video games than them. Because as we were playing this role-playing game, there were no cutscenes. There was no one stopping us from saying our actions. I search the bodies, I scan the room, diba? I prepare my weapons, ganon. And all these young people who had been playing these pen and paper role-playing games were so active. They were like, I scan the room, and I was just sitting there patiently waiting for the dungeon master to tell me, what do you want to do? Parang ganon. And because I kept waiting, I missed so many opportunities. He said, Joseph, because you didn't scan the room, then, a trap was triggered. Joseph, because you didn't search the bodies, then you missed out on the loot. Ganon. And I was like, what? Why am I missing out on so many things? And I realized I was waiting for the options to be presented to me. That's not how life is. There is no cutscene. Every moment counts. What are you doing? Why are you watching me? Diba? Turn this off. Go study something, or go rest, or close your eyes, or sleep. The point is, there are no cutscenes in real life. Every moment counts. Fourth major difference with video games and real life is that there's very limited character customization in real life. How many of you, when you play an RPG or any game where you design the person, you spend way more time designing your starting character than you do playing the actual game? Some of it's not even designing the stats or the performance of your character. It's just the appearance, You can't do that, though, in real life. If I could, would I have settled on this? You know what I mean? I would spend hours customizing this appearance? Probably not. My point in saying that is this. I play a video game like a role-playing game. And I type out, okay, I want to try this, I want to try that. And then, what will happen is, I'll say I want to try to be an archer, I want to specialize in brawling, and then I play my game that way because I know how I crafted that character to be. A video game like real life would be more like, you start the game and you have no clue. You have no clue what this character is. Is this a tank? Is this a mage? Is this an archer? Is this a fighter? You have no clue. And then there's weapons all around and you pick them up and you don't know if you're good at them. And some of them you're trying to swing and you suck and you're getting hurt all the time and you're like, I shouldn't have been picking this up. That's kind of how life is. There is some character customization. You can shave your head if you want to. You can do certain things physically. You can learn certain skills. But the base set of genetics, the base set of where you're born, the base set of so much around you in your environment, you can't do that much about it. You have to take it and then add to it, build on it, modify it, starting with what you have. And that can be stressful. Especially when we're used to being able to customize, or there's something you don't like about yourself. There's something you don't like about the cards you've been dealt. And that's why I love the idea that, like video games, life has a designer. And that designer, God, knew that when he put this set of stats, this set of circumstances, it might be very difficult, it might be Dark Souls-like level, for you right now and your family. But with him, you will have what it takes to get to the next level. Finally, main difference is you're not the main character. And the other people you see around you are not NPCs. NPCs are just like the people you buy potions from, right? The people who come to you with missions, the people who reward you at the end. There's no agency. Hindi naman sila gumagalaw, wala naman silang willpower. You know, they have very limited dialogue options and they're very repetitive. In fact, if they're very limited, they're so annoying. That's not how life is. Full disclosure, sometimes I treat life like that, you know, where I feel like the star in my own movie. I'll walk around, and if it's a particularly epic day, I might even have a soundtrack in mind. Sometimes there'll be narration. Sometimes the narration is my own voice. Sometimes it's Morgan Freeman's voice. My point is, though, that's not how life works. You're not the main character. Other players aren't NPCs. They have agency. They have will, they have want, they have history. And what's funny is, because we're so aware of our own feelings and our own needs, we expect that from other people. Treat me that way. Treat me like a main player. But when we're reluctant to give that to other people, it means we think we're real players who are deserving of that respect, but they are NPCs who should just be following their programming. That's not true. You know, one person we're really guilty about treating like an NPC, especially if you're a follower of Jesus, is God. We think he has a fixed set of dialogue options. Especially if you've read the Bible a bit. I know what God's gonna say. I know what God's gonna say. Do you? Sure ka ba dyan? Alam mo na? That is what the religious system in the time of Jesus was guilty of. They claimed to know God because they had memorized, supposedly, all of his programming. And then in comes Jesus. And he has a relationship with his God. And it wasn't a fixed set of rules. It was dynamic. It was an ongoing conversation. They thought he was insane because he's like, what are you talking to him for? Who are you to talk to him that way? But because Jesus came to show us that God is a main character. He's the main character. If anything, we're the NPCs. We're the ones running to him with our quests, with our needs, and he is the one fulfilling and saving all of us. I can't tell you the number of situations I've been in where I really didn't pray about it. I just memorized already what the Bible says, and I'm like, so I have to do this, I have to do that. And my wife or my mentor or some friends will remind me, have you asked God? Have you really prayed? Have you said, Jesus, I don't know how to answer this person's question? And it's amazing what he does. I mean, it's like, oh nga no, sino ba yung bida dito? Sino ba yung may power dito? Ako ba? Bakit ako na lang gumagawa ng lahat? And God's there saying, tap me in, you know? I'm moving. He does the work. Alright? Bring your concerns to him. This changed the way I approached ministry. Instead of thinking like, okay, I need this event to go this way. I need this preaching to go this way. I need this counseling appointment to go this way. It was just over and over again. Walk in there and be like, Lord, I need you to make this happen today. This won't work unless you do it. It's risky. Oh, but it's so much better that way. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go play video games with my son now. But I just wanted to share that with us. It's some thoughts that I have. And I think to end, let's be aware. Let's ask God to help us be aware of how media, social media, traditional media, video games, whatever, is influencing the way we look at the world. And let's make sure we have our dose of reality. We have our dose of wisdom. We have our dose of what is really substantial and true in life to keep us grounded. Okay? Happy playing.